Well, we got a double GRCS setup here. We got a second line. We're pulling the big piece off the top. We got a double whip tackle all set up. Game of trees. We're having fun. So we had a span rigging situation yesterday where we got block here, we got more material up here, and we're tipping this piece off, catching it. We had a double whip tackle on this side. So we're catching something on the double whip tackle. And we have a block way out here, and this goes up on a fishing pole up here. This rope comes up here. This rope comes up here, double whip tackle. And we drop it here. Now this, we were pulling it off, kind of had a back lead. So this, we have a GRCS on both sides of the tree. So we're cranking this off. We had somebody just give a good comment. He goes, "Oh yeah, that was great rigging. The only thing I could think of that I'd do different is I'd have rapid slack tended this back line so that maybe almost catch it. You know, when something's coming over, one line slacks out. If you're just standing there holding it, you're not just static, you could pick it up, you know, and maybe drop slack, and then both ropes would catch it. Of course, we're cranking. Yeah, I mean, you can't really go from cranking to rapid slack tending in the time that the piece comes over. It's just not going to happen. Plus, you know, you're thinking about getting out of the drop zone, just in case. But we're on a double whip on the heavy piece. It was 850 pounds. So that, I mean, that's heavy on a negative rig. And so it caught this, and then we came back into the drop zone, undid this, pulled it up, and then you got a piece that's hanging, right? So we're hanging on a double whip here, and we got a line that's coming here, and we got our piece. This is basic, but I just want all the ground guys to just have this in your mind. Usually on this, things aren't happening fast, right? I mean, we're waiting. We know that this piece goes back and forth, and who should go first and who should go second. But just put it in your minds, for this piece to go this way, this guy holds, this guy runs. I mean, when you're in these positions down here, talk it through in your head. You know, okay, if I want to miss the house, I gotta hold because I want it to come to me. Or if I want to bring it towards the house, I've got to hold, and my partner's got to let it run. And maybe even talk that out between yourselves. But you know, we can move this piece back and forth. Somebody online asked, "Why do you have two lines?" Well, house, and the house went right this way too.
The tree actually leaned
And
over
it
the
leaned
house.
over the house. Okay, so this comes off, and it's like over the edge of the roof. So we have to bring it this way with this line. And then when we're lowering it down, you know, it would be possible for this guy, for both people to let it run, and this is a double whip, so what's that mean? Two times the rope, right? So this guy's letting it run. It ain't like normal. You know, we don't do this every day. So it's double the rope. You got to let it run if you got to get it out there quick. And, you know, so anyways. And of course there's the potential for the climber and one of the ground guys and somebody, all of them yelling something. Hold. Well, who? You know, let's use our names. I mean, we had these little things yesterday. We were talking it through. And Terry, I think Terry brought it up. Who are you telling to hold and who are you telling to run? And you know, it gets that way. And it might look simple, but it's something. And in the heat of the moment, I mean, you're taking over a big piece. And so I just wanted to talk through the span rigging issues of, you know, moving that piece one way or the other. Same thing is when a piece is hanging and you got the brush. You know, the chipper's this way. Where do you want that butt? At the chipper. So if we want that butt, if it's coming down, you know, you're going to pull it this way for the butt to come towards the house. You want to pull this side if you want the butt to go away from the house. And same thing with the span rig. Who lets out, who holds. Little decisions, but they become important when the picture window's right here.
And you've got an 8x8 drop zone.
And you got an 8x8 drop zone, and you have stinking seamless, you know, wraparound gutters that are crazy expensive. And you don't want to, I mean, one little bump from an 800-pound log and you could smash that thing. So a little review on span rigging. We had it was great experience. We got that thing down really well. And then we ended up, you know, piecing this down last. So just another little lesson that was in this job is this looked like an obvious thing to take off, but this was like 30 plus inches in diameter. You know, you want something. And so then we kept using a second line, and we kept rigging over to here. Big, I mean, sometimes 1,500-pound chunks. You know, big things. And we had a little comm line here that we couldn't get disconnected. We were able to loosen it. But a couple of contingencies to work through. But it was a great job. Everyone, it was what Mike and Terry, was it kind of a relaxed job for a big job? It was just so tedious because we had power lines right back here. So it was all like little brush rigs. It was forever brush rigs. And, you know, of course, everybody's screaming, crane job, crane job. But a Merlot could have done it, but nobody's really renting a Merlot. Probably Rian will say, oh, I'd come do it. But it was possible to conventionally rig it. We should have brought the lift on day 2. Taylor monstered this trunk, and we could have had the lift here, could have come in the back. Just whatever. We got her done. Good job, Taylor. And Game of Trees, we're having fun.
Playing the game of trees.